What's up, America? This is Kim with Geogga Firearms Academy. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to check out a really cool product. We actually found it at SHOT Show, so let's get started. And the product we're going to be looking at is for emergency medical care. We have a really cool class we teach. It's called Defensive Mindset in Emergency Medical Care. It includes a Stop the Bleed certificate. One of your greatest tools is your mindset. I think because we carry guns, we think people are thinking we're itching to use them. In real life, we hope we never have to. And that's why we have the defensive mindset portion, which is all about creating those good habits, situational awareness, and some basics to help keep you hopefully safe so you never have to use your gun. And then the second part is the emergency medical care and the Stop the Bleed. So that's when we learn to pack wounds and tourniquets and all that fun stuff. So we always had Mr. Frank, we like to play with him, where you could practice packing wounds. But when we were at SHOT Show, we found a really cool product. It's from TrueClot. We added a new tool, and this is Pamela. She is a wound, and it actually has pumping blood, so that's why we have this tube connected here. What's really cool is we can buy this stimulated blood that they sell, and it actually coagulates. Now I'm going to have Neil come in here and show you how we use it and give you some basic emergency medical tips. We're not going to get too crazy with her because we're in our studio and there's carpets and I don't want to ruin them, but you just have to trust me, boys. She's a squirter.
Alright guys, well it's all about realism. The closer we can get to the real thing, the better we are. This guy, what do we call her, Pam?
We call her Pamela.
Pamela, alright. Cool thing about this is inside here it actually has synthetic bone as well. And you're going to actually be able to feel the pulse here as Kim is working the pump, which is, it comes with the whole kit here. It's not really a pump, but the bottle. And it has a one-way valve on here, so it actually has an arrow that's on there to show you that you put the valve in correctly. But you're going to get this, and this is, again, this is TrueClot blood simulated concentrate. And what you'll notice if you actually start feeling around is there's actually, it's chunky, and you're going to want to mix this. It'll tell you the exact amount. This is 1 liter. So what we found works best, and it says so in the instructions as well. You want to use, I use pretty much as hot the tap water as it comes out, and I mix this in about 1 hour, 2 hours before the class. So I basically mix this bottle up, and then I shake it up. You're supposed to fill it. If you want to get real specific, you can read on your own, but you basically fill about 2/3 of the bottle to 3/4. Put the concentrate in, and then so that you have enough room to shake it up a lot. And every 20 minutes or so, if you have an opportunity to shake it up, you can. But it's gonna cause all this to dissolve and be much more fluid-like, like actual real blood. And then, as Kim stated earlier, when you actually use any type of quick clot, any type of coagulant in there, it actually, and we'll throw some pictures up. Some of the classes we took, you can actually see it starts to clot. It's really, really fasting. Now, Kim already mentioned this is our studio with carpeting floors, and we have plastic liner and all this. We're not getting too crazy, but in real, when we're doing this, as people are putting their fingers in there trying to pack this wound, which we'll get into, and someone's really squeezing it, that blood is going to obviously be under pressure there and start to squirt out all over and be a mess. So we're going to keep it mild this time. Just for demonstration purposes, but it's a very cool product. Come on, come on. Oh, he's bleeding. In there, get deep, get deep.
Get those fingers in there.
North, south, east, and west. Figure out where it's at. This is pre-mixed from the last class, but what we want to do here is you want to really shake this up pretty good. If it's warm, because of the temperature, it starts to really come down the hose, so you can kind of just squeeze it to cut it off, and then get that nice and mixed up. Otherwise, you'll see at the very bottom kind of settles. So once we get that, basically I'm going to start squeezing here, and you'll start to see the blood starts to go down the line. To make this as realistic as possible, we're going to actually fill that cavity first. So you're going to give it some pumps here, and you're going to start to see, you can actually hear it, probably miss it there. So as we were mixing this, I got some on my hand. So as you can see, I would highly recommend you wear gloves. Plus, that's part of your protocols if you can. I understand that that's not always going to be the case, but this does stain, and you want to not wear great clothes with it. So if you have this and you're going to be teaching others, make sure that we always take garbage bags and cut them like ponchos and stuff like that, just to help keep that down. Also, If you just like, I don't really care, and you're just covered in blood, and then you get pulled over for some odd reason, I always think of things from a law enforcement perspective. You might have to answer a few more questions. So gloves are always a good idea, and some type of protective stuff to keep your clothes. But again, we're going to keep this fairly mild. So you guys won't be able to see our faces right now. It doesn't really matter. One of the things I always like to do with the class, and we always have this already in a package. You should always do this realistic. You're not going to have your packing already out, but this is just for this. I always make sure that the students make sure that they get a good coating of this on themselves, on their hands and stuff, because this is more realistic to the environment you're going to be working in, and it gets slippery and whatnot. Okay, so as it comes to packing, obviously we'd have to open up our package and so forth and so on.
And that's why we also dip the quick clot packages in the blood, so that it really makes it hard to open.
Yep. And then obviously we're trying to get this out. And again, this is potentially obviously a real person that have some severe trauma, and if they are conscious, they're not going to be too cooperative as you're sticking your fingers into the wound. But what we want to do is we want to go, I always like to say, in a north, south, east, west pattern, because I'm actually in there. What you'll see a lot of time when we use this real product is people will just do this, and they just kind of touch the top of it, because again, it's all goop, there's blood coming out. I give it a couple pumps there. Good. Okay, you'll see they come out. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way inside, press all the way in. As you can see, this as this really comes in here, keep pumping. I'm trying to feel as I run this in all directions. Okay, and I'm trying to feel that pulse in there. If I can find that spot where I can locate that, I'm going to keep packing and packing and packing. That's the idea here. And again, if this is just regular gauze, but if it actually had a coagulant in there, like a quick clot product, it would actually begin to clot. So we're just going to keep putting this in here. Once we have this as packed in there as we can get it, that's when we would apply a pressure bandage on here, and that would be us packing this wound. As you can see, it's a very realistic representation. You're going to actually feel the actual pulse of that. You're going to actually see when they pull it all out, starting the coagulation there, the clotting of the blood. So it's a phenomenal aid. It's something that we're really excited about bringing to our people. I will tell you this. You know, we do this for a lot of people who are maybe veterans or police officers or retired police officers or anybody really. One of the things I always do is a disclaimer in the beginning, because this does get quite graphic, if you will. People who have some types of PTSD from certain traumas in their life and so forth, we always give them a heads up about this is going to be pretty realistic. I'm going to pull this out so you guys can kind of see what we got going on here. Again, this doesn't have any clotting agent on here, but very realistic here. We'll pull this all out. You can see how saturated everything is. So very, very cool. And even though there's still some in there, you can actually see some clotting right there. It's a small part, but we got better pictures for you.
And now for the real fun part. I gotta go clean this up. It looks so realistic. I feel like Dexter, or had some Dahmer vibes going on, especially the black trash bags. Really gross. We hope you guys enjoyed that video. We thought we'd give you a few little quick tips. If you are a trainer, it is a really nice investment for your training to make it more realistic. And if you're nearby and you're interested in taking our class, we actually have one coming up in April. And if you have already taken that class with us previously, before we have Pamela, and you want to just join us for the Stop the Bleed for like a refresher, we're offering it half off to anyone who's already previously attended the class before with us. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up, a like, a share, a comment. We always love to hear from you guys. You can of course find us here on YouTube. We're on Rumble, we're on Instagram, Facebook, and of course we put all of our premium content on Patreon.